Hey, how you doing, everybody? Bones back here in Alternative Energies Lab. Working on the new Stinger. I'm going to try do a wet cell or dry cell, as they call it. Not sure why they call it dry cell, but that's what we're going to call it. Um, these are my plates. They are 6 inches by 6 inches. Got my electrical tab on the top here. Using 3/16 L stainless steel. Kind of made my own little design here. I laid it out and gave it to the fabricator. He fabricated it. Making my gaskets. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm not going to bore you. I know nobody shows how to make the gaskets on there. But let me tell you, unless you've made gaskets, man, there's a whole lot more to this than I thought. You know, it's a lot harder. It's not that it's hard, it's just that it's extremely time consuming to do these gaskets. I'll go ahead and cut one here as I'm gabbing along. Just give you an idea how much time is involved in these. Keep in mind, I'm doing a 21 plate array. So I need 24 of these, or 23 of these gaskets. But what I'm using, which most people use, is PVC. These are PVC gaskets. Okay. And this actually went together like this, as you can see, if you line up the emblem and everything. It's PVC 40. What that 40 stands for in this instance is it's 40 thousandths of an inch. I've already checked it with the mic, and it is 40 thousandths of an inch. So that's how thick this is. I'm thinking that's going to be more than enough in our original Stinger cells. That's what our spacers are. We use nylon washers in between them, and they're also 40 thousandths of an inch. So I'm optimistic that this is going to work out really well. What I've done with this is after the first two that I cut, I realized that this was going to take time. If you notice, I put mine on a dolly. This saves a whole lot of turning around and moving around. Because what I'll do is I'll cut this out. I'll cut the outside out first, and then once I go to the inside, I'll cut it counterclockwise, and then I'll go and cut it clockwise, or vice versa, one after the other. And that's for the very ends, because it doesn't like to come apart. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and score from line to line. This is a template that I have on here. Turn it counterclockwise, go from corner to corner. What happens is this razor blade doesn't like to get right in the very corners on the end here, on the end of the run. It does well in the beginning, but it's just real hard to get back in that corner down there. So I just go ahead and keep on rotating it, and you see how this dolly makes it a whole lot easier. Okay, especially in these small corners up here. This is the top where my electrodes are. Okay, then I'll go ahead and switch over to my smaller one, and I'll come back and do it the opposite way. This allows me to get those corners. Alright, that's the template they made me. That's just a regular piece of steel. Can you believe they charged me 16 bucks to make that? If I knew that's what they were going to charge me, I'd have made the sucker out of a piece of Lawan plywood or something. But I just pull my little gasket out. There it is. There's a gasket. Now my design on here is, as you can tell, I'm not putting my bolts through my plates. I want as much plate surface as possible. That's the whole idea of going to this design, is to get as much plate area as I can. So I'd prefer not to go with a big gasket, so that's why this gasket's only a 1/2 inch gasket. She'll sit right on there. I'm hoping that light's not so bad. So There's my inlet ports on the bottom. There's my exhaust ports on the top. Now I know we've talked about cross-contamination with the running our electric through here and losing our charge and everything through there. I'm just going to see how it runs. We'll see how, if it causes me a problem, I'll end up running a tube through here. I'll just run a nylon tube through here and poke holes in it as it goes from plate to plate to plate to keep it charged up. But this is my first dry cell that I'm making, so we'll go ahead and just check it out and see how it is. That's why I went with the prong design. I believe the EBN cell is that way. Okay, you see the prong? See if I can get this in the light here. Maybe if I get it up closer to the camera. See, that's the prong. What I got that for was for the Stacons to sit on there. I don't have any right here. Huh? Here's one. You know, I got that for the Stacon to fit on there. So this way I can experiment with it. So there you go. And I had to make them. I mean, these are tight. I really have to force them on there. I'll show you the other side there, because the other side's got paper on it. So there you go. So basically that's what's going on. Now once I figure out definitely my design that I want, I'll go ahead and just solder them together to get them on there. Don't know how many neutral plates I'm going to use. Again, that was my whole idea of going with that design, was this way I could determine whether I want to just, you know, positive, negative, it goes through. Do I want to go, you know, it just gives me the versatility of doing what I want to do, and that's the whole point right now. This is just an experimental cell for my likings. I still like the, you know, as people call them, the wet cells, the stingers. You know, we're not breaking any world records with it. We are getting better mileage with it. Each vehicle is going to be different on what you're going to save. It's everything in general. I mean, you're getting better gas mileage, but it's more than that to your car. You're increasing the lifespan of your car. You're cleaning the atmosphere as you're going. You're not putting all the pollutants out into the air. You've got more power. So I mean, it's about saving gas too. That's the whole idea. But that's not the only advantage of what we're doing. And you know, every little bit that we save. But so and I know these dry cells put out a higher volume, and it's you know, gonna give me better gas mileage and everything on my van. Just let you know what's going on here, the Alternative Energies Labs. So talk to you soon. Bye.